Hi guys, my name's Lewis. I'm a nutritional balancing practitioner. Just answering a few questions for today. If you'd like to send a question, please send me an email to lewis@deephealingspace.com. If you enjoy the videos and the questions and you'd like to leave a donation, I do them for free at the moment, then the donation link is below. Again, and if you'd like to start a program and get a free consultation video, then just send me an email and we can get that underway. Alright, so some questions today. First one. Is it okay to go to the gym twice a week and do moderate exercises? So this particular person has just began the program. Most people are in burnout today, the vast majority of people. Kind of depends on the person. Kind of depends on what you call moderate exercise. If I was in your position, I would probably skip it and just go for walks instead. That's just the best, healthiest, safest method. I know some people that are really into the gym and their version of moderate exercise is my version of like intense exercise, So kind of it's like no good for me to say, yeah, it's okay to go to the gym twice a week and do moderate exercises when I don't know what exercises are being done. Maybe, something really gentle, which you can go at your own pace. Some light weights would be okay, but in general we want to be resting a lot. So I would probably try and do some walking instead. But yeah, if it's light, not too bad. Okay, just gonna move this a little bit. That's better. Okay, next one. Do you think taking 5,000 IU of vitamin D on a day when you're out in the sun and maybe you ate some sardines too, is that too much vitamin D? Probably not. We're pretty low in vitamin D. If you just do one day where you've done that, then it's fine. You're not going to die. If you're doing that every single day, then maybe just skip taking the vitamin D and just have the sardines instead. 3 to 5 cans of sardines per week. But you're not gonna, I don't think you're gonna fall into any problems if you're doing that. So that's that. It's 2 short questions so far. Good stuff. Okay, next question. Do I have to eat 1 serving of protein with vegetables every day until my test comes back? And that's when I would know what supplements to take and exactly what to eat. Just follow the diet that I have sent you. Just follow the article, the slow oxidizer article. Probably not going to change too much when you get your test back anyway, the diet. If it does change, it will only be related to fats and oils, so don't worry about that. Just follow the diet exactly as it says. And another question. One last thing, will I be able to keep my job if I start getting rid of metals? I don't want to be real sick to the point I can't work because I'm the only employed person in my family. I'm afraid of getting to the point of not being able to work. That could lead me and my family to homelessness. So work. Now, work is an important thing to think about when you're trying to heal. Because 2 minutes. Because it can have an effect on your healing. Now, I wouldn't worry about it too much, don't freak out about things. You've got to kind of feel your way through everything. If you've got an intense job and you do the program 100%, then you might find you might run into trouble now and again. Just because you need a lot of time to rest and heal. I don't know what job it is, if you're doing So me, for example, when I first started the program, I was working in a garden centre. and I was really, really exhausted. But I just slowed down my job and made sure I sat down more often. Made sure I was away from pesticides and herbicides. But I realised in the long run it was probably not a good idea for me to keep doing that job because it was just too intense. But I didn't quit it straight away, and when I was having some detox reactions, etc., I know I still managed to get through the days and stuff. But yeah, then over time I learned how to try and find new jobs. So one of my other jobs was a web designer. But again, it's all a learning process. So I was a web designer, but I was constantly on the computer all day, overthinking, trying to do 10 jobs at once. And that affected my health, and I had EMF sensitivity and stuff. So yeah, although that I got a new job that was more flexible because I worked from home, again, it wasn't ideal, but then I used a projector, which was much better for EMF sensitivity. And you work your way through it. So, now, luckily, me and Luke have got a fairly good YouTube channel, so I can, do videos for people, which is not very intensive, but it's very fulfilling, and it gets a lot of information out there. I enjoy it. It's creative. It gets me clients. It helps people, but I'm not stuck behind the computer all day. So you can see over time how things have progressed for me, and you kind of just take one day as it comes, one step as it comes, one day at a time, and find out what works for you. But if you've got an intense job, you might want to skip doing the full program because it can get intense. It's just something that you need to work through, and it comes from experience, really. So just be aware of that and take baby steps. Cool. Hi Lewis, thanks for answering all those questions. You're very welcome. My question is if Dr. Wilson ever talks about blood types and gene type diets, or do you find any correlations? Because 10 years ago I went and did tests, and the diet is not so strict, but it's close to nutrition balancing. I am a fast oxidizer. Well, you was a fast oxidizer, we don't know that now. They recommend a lot of veggies, nightshades, forbidden. Meat, yes, pork, forbidden. Only certain types of carbs. A few fruits, very small portions, sugar forbidden. I even noticed that in some cases I love broccoli and it's very recommended for my blood type. All my life I can't stand the smell of cauliflower, it's not recommended. But sugar is not recommended. Sardines recommended, kelp recommended, olive oil recommended, etc., etc. The blood type diets are actually not too bad. They are pretty similar to nutritional balancing, but there is a few things in blood type diets that are not good for nutritional balancing. Dr. Wilson actually used the blood type system diet for a few years, and he found it quite useful. But as he kind of grew with experience, he realised that there was actually a better diet out there, and obviously he moved on to the nutritional balancing program. I'm sure you've heard about yin and yang now, so there's a lot of yin, there's a few yin things in the blood type diet which is not too good, like fruits and nuts and seeds and juices and stuff. Dr. Wilson says some of the foods can be slightly toxic. Some of them can be difficult to digest. He also says that although the blood type is pretty important, he finds that exposure to environmental toxins like metals and chemicals that damages the body is more important to work with and correct first. And there's obviously other things that have been added to the nutritional balancing program that are not in the blood type diet, like the detox protocols and supplements and stuff. So it's not a bad diet. It's probably one of the better ones out there, but we find nutrition balancing just to be a little bit more comprehensive. So I hope that's answered your question. Alright, that's all questions from my email. I did get a few questions on my YouTube comments, which I'm just going to quickly go through. So this one was from my QnA black cell almond butter and copper release. Lewis, do you analyse the hair test yourself, or do you send it to Dr. Wilson to review? Do you have a biochemistry background? So me and Dr. Wilson both look at the hair tests. You know, I have my experience with my health and healing and hair tests. Obviously, Dr. Wilson's got his massive amounts of experience. I don't necessarily have a biochemistry background. I actually studied. Well, I suppose I do. I studied biochemistry, but way back in school now, in secondary school, and I went on work placement as a biochemist. So I guess I do have somewhat of a biochemistry background, but I don't really think it's too important. I'm not sure why you've asked that question. I do know why you've asked that question, but I think these days it's quite short-sighted to just assume that a person doesn't know something because they don't have a background in something. The best teachers, you know, most of the best teachers that I've come across don't have a degree in their area or, you know, any of this stuff. You might find my video titled "The Truth About the Medical Industry" a good video. I talk about stuff like that. So yeah, hope that's answered your question. Next question. Hi Lewis, did you have tinnitus and ringing in the ears? Thankfully, I actually didn't. Now, I had pretty much, it's very rare actually that I'll turn around to someone and say I didn't have that, because I pretty much had everything else. I know a lot of people that have visual snore also have tinnitus. I'm very lucky that I don't have tinnitus. The only times when I will hear tinnitus is actually when I'm doing a coffee enema. Not every time, but now and again I will get tinnitus in my ears, and I put that down to the toxins running through my blood and temporarily going into my ears, which would correlate to the theory that we have mainly in nutritional balancing, that it's toxic metals inside the ears that kind of cause tinnitus a lot of the time. So yeah. But yeah, to answer your question in short, no, I don't have ringing in the ears. Hi Lewis, would you consider taking us through the history of your HTMA results? I'd be really interested. The problem is I'm not being very good at keeping them. Much better at keeping them like now, as I've just become more mature and experienced. But in the beginning of the program, when I was just trying to figure things out and I wasn't worried about keeping them, like and there was paper copies. I didn't really. I'm not sure if I can find them. I'll definitely try and do one day. Or I might ring the lab up and try and get them to send me all of the results from all of the years. But yeah, it's only been really the past 3 years when I've been really good at keeping them. A lot of it was just due to my brain fog and my poor organisational skills, and you know, didn't really think I'd be a nutritional balancing practitioner. So that's the reason why I haven't done one of them yet, but hopefully in the future I will do. What do you think of the Gerson therapy? I think it's good. It doesn't seem to work so much today as it did 100 years ago for various different reasons, mainly related to the ideas of yin and yang. Dr. Wilson actually recommends now the Kelly Metabolic Cancer Program, which seems to be superior to the Gerson therapy, but although pretty similar. So if you're interested in that, check it out. Cool. Last one, which is about visual snore and copper toxicity. Diet is the clue, but the wrong conclusions are drawn. We are all low in copper, and all those symptoms are wrongly attributed to copper overload. You are detoxing, and copper has nothing to do with it. I obviously disagree. I don't think we're all low in copper. I believe that if you get tested, you'll probably show up as low in copper, but there's something called biounavailable copper toxicity, which a lot of people have, and we can prove that on a hair analysis test, because I would say the vast majority of times people do not show high copper on a hair analysis test, yet we can see different patterns on the hair analysis test that indicate someone is suffering from biounavailable copper, which is copper that's basically stuck inside the cells. And when we get people on a nutritional balancing program and they follow it diligently, after a while you'll see the copper will rise up on the tests, and that copper basically hasn't come from anywhere. It's come from the body. It's come from the fact that there was bioavailability in the cells of copper, and now it's been released. So that's the answer to that. Maybe we have to agree to disagree, but I have to disagree with that comment. Alright, thanks for watching. It's been fun. If you've got any questions, feel free to send them in. It's better on an email actually rather than comments. But I don't mind comments as well. Alright, cool. Catch you soon. Have a great day, and I love you a lot. Bye.